Hello, everybody. This is Chris from Relentless Life. So today we're gonna kick off. We're gonna be talking about ketogenic diet. So make sure you stay tuned the whole time. So this is gonna be a series of videos. We're gonna talk about ketogenic diet, all the benefits of the ketogenic diet, and I'm talking about everything from weight loss, um, and seizures, and how to reduce bad cholesterol and also the good stuff. So make sure you stay tuned. So let's not waste time. But before that, make sure you follow us right here in IG, relentless_life_, and we're gonna be posting Rob and I a lot of quotes for you guys to stay motivated, as well as Rob has a little video. He's gonna be a little series. He's gonna be kicking off talking about finances, the basic of finances, how you can save money and all that good stuff. I'll be posting all the track and everything I'll be doing with this keto series. I will be tracking everything from my macros. I will be tracking my ketones. I'm gonna be sharing with everybody what works for me, what is not working for me, and how everything is going in my whole process for 21 days. So make sure you follow with us and stay tuned. Okay, don't leave us. All right, so let's go. So what is the ketogenic diet? So people always asking this question: what is the ketogenic diet? All right, so this is pretty simple, and I want to keep it really in lame terms. So this is just a high fat, low carb, and moderate protein type of diet. Benefits of this diet. So there's a lot of benefits out there. So people talk about weight loss because that's the main one. That's what everybody focus on nowadays. Everybody had this New Year's resolutions about weight loss. Over here, we're talking about the studies show that there's treatments, cancer treatments, that if you mix it with a ketogenic diet, that will help you defeat cancer. And there's a lot of research, and I'm talking about evidence-based research. I'm not talking about Chris said that ketogenic diet is going to help you defeat cancer, because that is not the case. There's a lot of evidence-based research. Make sure you do your own research. Look it up on Google. Make sure it's evidence-based. It's not because he said, she said type of deal. All right. So another one is decreasing seizures. I'm a registered nurse, and I've seen this. I've seen a lot of my patients on ketogenic diets to reduce seizures. This is not going to eradicate the seizure. This is not going to make them go away. But instead of having 5-10 episodes a month, patients drastically reduce those episodes to 3 or 4 in a month if they can keep up with the ketogenic diet. Let's go back to the first point. I'm talking about moderate protein. So this may go up or down depending on how active you are, what type of exercise regimen you're following, what type of, if you're doing CrossFit, if you're just lifting, if you're doing not CrossFit, cross country, if you're just a runner, sprints, all this other stuff. So you'll be able to consume more or less protein depending on that. I've seen a lot of people out there that consume, crazy amount of proteins and still stay in a ketogenic state. So it's a little bit different for me. On a ketogenic diet, people say, hey, you want to keep your carbs below, 20, 25. I've been all the way up to 55, 50 and still in ketosis. So it's a little bit different for everybody. If you're a really active person, then you should be able to get away with a little bit more protein, a little bit more meat, which is always a plus. Why keto? I tell everybody, why not? It's really easy. It's really simple. A lot of people get frustrated, but it's just a lifestyle change. So once you get used to it, it's so easy, so simple to keep up with. It doesn't take a lot of extra work for you if you know how to keep it, basic. All right. So let's talk about this website here, rumi.com. I like to use this website, and the reason I use it is because it'll give you a lot of feedback and recipes. And the main thing that I used it for at the beginning when I started doing keto is because they have a calculator. You can go in there and put your weight, your height, fat percentage that you think you're in right now, and it'll give you a baseline of the macros you should be consuming. And I mean, by macros, I'm talking about the amount you should eat of specific food group. And food groups in the ketogenic diet, we're talking about carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So in lame terms, that's pretty much it. Those are going to be your macros in a ketogenic diet. There's a lot more to it, but like I said, I want to keep it very simple for you guys so you guys understand the basic of this. All right. All right. It is a lifestyle, and that's what I was talking about earlier. This is the hardest thing. People sometimes don't understand that you have to let go. You have to definitely let go from the past. Everything that made you gain that weight, everything that made you become diabetic or things like that, you have to let that go. You have to change your habits. Focus on the benefits. If you're diabetic and you get on a ketogenic diet, you're going to see that your A1C is going to decrease. And the A1C, for those that don't know what it is pretty much we draw blood um, from you, and we can tell on those numbers, on base of those numbers, we can tell if you've been managing your sugar the right way. So usually, if you're, anything above 7.5, it all depends. Hospitals and doctors a little bit different and picky about this. But I tell everybody, if your numbers are higher than 7.8, 7.8 or 8 and above, you should reconsider your diet. For me, for example, when I've done mine, the few times that I've done it, I've been around 5.86, which is pretty good. Like I said, I do the ketogenic diet not for the weight loss benefits, but more for the health benefits of it. Just keep in mind another thing is everybody thinks about, oh, but I can't eat bread or I can't eat, barbecue sauce. And I'll tell everybody, listen, there's a ketogenic replacement for any sugary, carbohydrate loaded food choice that you're craving. I guarantee you that. All you have to do is the research. And along this series, I'm gonna talk about certain things that I do and I eat to replace some of those things. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us at relentless underscore life underscore because I'll be posting a lot of pictures there. The things that I'm eating and not eating, a replacement for certain foods that a lot of people crave and think that they can never ever eat. I'm telling you, it's not the same as a carbohydrate one, but it's pretty damn close, and it's still giving you benefits. So keep that in mind. Keep it simple, especially when you start in keto. Keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. And the reason is there's a lot of fancy recipes that everybody start doing as soon as I start doing keto. And I'll tell them, listen, some of these recipes, it's a hit and miss. It takes a lot of practice to get them right. I've been there, done that. That's the reason I'm telling you, keep it simple, stick to the basics, focus more on the macros. Don't focus on the fancy food, fancy meals, pizzas, and all this other stuff that people's doing because it's time consuming. And if you're meal prepping, it's really hard to do it and you get discouraged. So we don't want you to get discouraged. At the beginning, just try to keep it simple. When you have spare time, then you get in there and you're going to start doing you're practicing those meals that you were craving and stuff like that, especially on weekends. If you're off weekends, you can, take some time and then practice some of that stuff. Main thing with keto, focus on your fats. Make sure you're consuming good fats. And I'm going to talk about fats in a little bit. So make sure you're consuming good fat, quality fats. Um, Learn how to read nutrition facts. That's a big one. Nutrition facts is those labels. Every time you get a can of beans or whatever, you just turn them around and you can say some nutrition facts. So nutrition facts, they look something like this. And I'm going to show you. It looks something like this. Here you go. All right, so here you see nutrition facts, and it'll tell you the portion, all this other good stuff, calories. So the main thing we want to focus on fats. This is not really high on fat like we want to, but we're just using this as an example to show you how to, know how many carbs is in one specific food that you just picked up at Walmart or the grocery or whatnot. So pretty much you have 10 carbohydrates, so you're going to subtract fibers, right? You subtract that, and that's going to give you net carbs. So in this product, whatever it is, you subtract the five fibers from the 10 carbohydrates, and your net, meaning this is what you're actually consuming, your body that digesting, is 5 carbs. So if you're doing 25, 30 carbs a day, then after consuming, a cup, 4 ounces of this product, you are going to be, if you have 30, you're going to have 25 carbs left for the day. So pretty much that's how it goes. It's pretty simple, but this is something that you need to understand. If you're going to do keto, this is some of the basics that you need to grasp really, really, really fast. All right, calories. Woo! All right, so it's really easy on keto to consume calories, and I'm guilty of it. I do it a lot. Sometimes I'm eating, and when I'm not really tracking my macros and what I'm eating, I always try to keep it keto, low carb, but I don't realize sometimes like chicken wings. Chicken wings are high in protein, high in fat. I'll tell you that. Really low carbs, obviously no carbs, zero sugar, then that's what you want. But sometimes, I overeat. I love chicken wings. I can eat chicken wings every single day. But just keep in mind that there is 9 calories per gram of fat. So if your goal is losing weight and you're consuming all these fats and all this other stuff, chicken wings, for example, 5 chicken wings, 6 chicken wings is like 800 calories depending on where you buy them. So don't quote me on the exact number, but I'll tell you right now, chicken wings are really high in fat and calories. So if you're tracking everything from macros, all your macros, your fats, your protein, your calories, and your protein, and your sugars and all this, so keep in mind that you have to make sure that you consume enough fat that will balance with your calories as well, because you don't want to overeat. And I'm very, 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 very guilty of this. I overeat a lot, and it's just because a lot of the portions that you eat in a ketogenic diet are really small, but are really dense. They're really, really dense in calories. So just keep that in mind. And I put it here. It's really, really dense in calories. So the easiest thing is just to, keep in mind what you're eating, when you're eating it, and all that other good stuff. And I guarantee you'll be okay. Again, like I said, if you're new to our page, make sure you subscribe right here in IG. You're gonna see, everything that we're gonna be posting. So make sure you stay tuned there. All right, good carbs, bad carbs. This is a big one. People say, what is good carb, bad carbs? Carbs are the devil. Absolutely not. Um, there's a lot of stuff in keto. Manipulation of carbohydrates is one of them, and we're gonna talk about this later on. But you can consume carbs. Like I said, I've been all the way to 55 carbs a day, and still be in ketosis. I have sushi and still be in ketosis. So it is possible. It all depends, your workout routine and how you've been doing keto, and if you're becoming insulin resistant. And here at the bottom, insulin resistant, your body is not using the sugar and carbs in the blood. So pretty much if you are good with insulin, every time you put something in your body, it's not going to spike it immediately, but your body's going to use it. It's going to use it as energy. However, as soon as it's done with that, it's going to go to the main source, which is fat, because in ketogenic diet, your main source of energy is going to be fat. So once you get an insulin resistance, your body is dependent on sugar and carbohydrates to boost your whole body, your energy, your brain. So in the ketogenic diet, we want to switch everything up and make sure that our bodies are consuming fat as a source of energy instead of sugars. All right. So read the slide, read it over. And like I said, there's no such thing as good or bad carbs. It all depends how you're using them. And like I said, there's a lot of people on keto that consume higher amount of carbs and still ketosis. So I've been there, I've done it. So it is possible. All right, so I'm going to go over some of these fats real quick. Some of the good fats that I use a lot is organic butter, Kerrygold, ghee, duck fat, lard, bacon fat. I'm not a big fan of the bacon fat. I use it once in a while. If it's fresh, that's when I use it the most. I don't like to store it, pull it out. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But avocado oil, coconut oil, and there's a lot more out there. But these are the main ones. I stick with the first two, ghee and organic butter. They're a little on the pricier side of things, but I'm telling you, this is really good. I like ghee because it has like a nutty taste to it. And I pretty much everything I cook is with ghee. I use the organic butter that, like with asparagus and green beans and stuff like that. That's when I use the butter. But most of the time, if I'm doing meats and stuff or eggs, ghee is the way to go. All right. Main thing, avoid sugars and avoid carbs. Keep that in mind. Avoid sugars and avoid carbs. And like I said, this is the first video of this series. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you check us out, Relentless Life, and IG. And I'm gonna keep posting stuff for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This is the basic. There's a lot more. I'm gonna talk about food groups in the next video. So make sure you stay tuned on that.